Hi everyone. So you should have seen hopefully on your to-do list today that you are taking notes over characters. So if that's what you're looking for, you're in the right spot. So we're getting to know a few different characters in To Kill a Mockingbird so far, and I wanted to do this video to just kind of make sure that you all know who each character is, and so that if you are confused about any of the characters, hopefully this will clear it up. So the notes that you have should be on a Google slide and look like this. And so this style of note-taking is something that's called the boxing method. And so all that means is instead of taking notes on lined paper, you would have boxes to take notes about. In this case, it's about a character, but whatever concept it is you're taking notes about, everything that goes with that one concept or that one character goes in the same box. So this is just a way for especially visual learners to be able to keep all of the information together. So everything that we're putting down about Scout is going to be in this box about Scout. Same for Jem, Atticus, and the other characters. And so when you were on your Google slide, you would just go in, add you a text box, type in whatever it is on your boxing notes. Alright, so To Kill a Mockingbird character overview. First off, we have Scout, starting with her because she is our main character and she is our protagonist. If you think back to our introduction to Kill a Mockingbird, we mentioned how the genre is a Bildungsroman, or a coming-of-age novel. And so what that means is, I'm trying to format this so you can see the whole slide. But a Bildungsroman, what that means is that it is a coming-of-age story, and you're going to see the protagonist grow and develop. And so that's Scout. You're going to see her grow and develop throughout the novel. So her real name is Jem Louise Finch. She, again, is our narrator and our protagonist. She lives with her father, her brother, and their cook. And she's intelligent, she's a tomboy, and she is 6 years old at the novel's beginning. Next up, we have Jem. Oh, one more thing. These pictures, these are the characters from the movie. So if you're in class, I will try to make time to show the movie. If you're at home, I do recommend watching it. It's really, really good. That's where these pictures are from. So this is Scout in the movie. And here's Jem. His real name is Jeremy Atticus Finch, Scout's brother and playmate at the beginning of the story. And he is sort of this typical American boy. He always takes a dare. He loves to play football, and he is 4 years older than Scout, so at the beginning of the novel he is 10. Next up we have Atticus. Again, sorry you can't see this whole slide, so I'm just going to scroll down a little bit, but that says Atticus at the top. He is Scout and Jem's father. They actually always call him Atticus. They never refer to him as Dad or Daddy, anything like that. It's always Atticus. He is the lawyer in Macomb. He descended from an old local family. We learned about that in Chapter 1 about Finch's Landing. He is a widower, so he lost his wife. And he has instilled in his family a strong sense of morality and justice. And I don't know if you can see this bottom part here, but it says he is committed to racial equality. I'm sorry, the formatting on this video is bad today. But committed to racial equality. So during this time of Jim Crow, segregation, white people and black people didn't really mix. Atticus kind of goes against that. He thinks that everybody should be equal. He's really committed to that. And he has tried to instill these morals into his children. Next up is Arthur Boo Radley. He is a recluse, never sets foot outside his house, and he dominates the imaginations of the children. You have seen this in the first few chapters, how they're kind of obsessed with this Boo Radley character. He leaves little presents for Scout and Jem. We see that with the knothole. He leaves little things in there for them. And we learn that he was an intelligent child, but he had a very cruel and abusive father, and that damaged him in a lot of ways. Next up, Miss Carolyn Fisher. I could not find a picture of her from the movie, so I just put this clip art in. But she is Scout's teacher, and she tells Scout not to read anymore. And this really shows how the education system is flawed. You would think a teacher would be thrilled that their student already knew how to read and was already reading very well, but instead she's like, no, you gotta stop. I gotta undo this damage that your father did by teaching you to read, which really, really shows the flaws in the education system. Next up is Burris Yule. Again, I couldn't find a picture of him, so I just put this little little picture here. But he is a member of the Yule family, which we learn is one of the poorest families in Macomb. Atticus actually calls the Yules a disgrace. And we learn all the Yule kids only go to school on the first day of every year. They never come back. And then a bug crawls out of his hair and he calls Miss Caroline horrible, sorry again that's cut off, but that says horrible names. Next up is Dill. His real name, Charles Baker Harris. He introduces himself and says, "I'm Charles Baker Harris and I can read." He is Jem and Scout's summer neighbor and friend. He comes and stays in Macomb every summer. And he's a very confident boy with an active imagination. Next up is Calpurnia. This is the Finch's cook. She is African American, and she's also a stern disciplinarian. Scout actually thinks that she's unfair at times, but she disciplines the kids, she takes care of the kids, and she keeps them in line. And she is really the children's only bridge between their own white world and Calpurnia's black community, because again, remember, this is during the time of segregation, and so this is the only African American person that the children have any interactions with. Next up is Mrs. Henry Lafayette DeBose. She is an elderly, ill-tempered, and racist woman who lives near the Finches. Walter Cunningham. This is the son of Mr. Cunningham and Scout's classmate, and he is the kid who can't afford lunch, and so Miss Caroline offers him money, and he won't take the money because he knows he can't pay it back, and then all of this accidentally gets Scout in trouble. Miss Maudie Atkinson. This is the Finch's neighbor. She is a sharp-tongued widow. She's an old friend of the family, and out of all the adults in Macomb, this is really the children's best friend out of the adults. Next we have Nathan Radley. This is Boo's older brother, and he plugs up the knothole in which Boo leaves the children gifts. And that is the last character that we are going to cover. So since this is a video, the really great thing is if you missed anything on your notes, you can pause the video, you can rewind the video, you can get all the information that you need. I went kind of fast on purpose because I knew that you would be able to pause and rewind where you needed. So make sure you get those notes filled in. You don't have to write every single word, just get the gist, the important ideas, and get those on your notes. Hopefully this cleared up any confusion on who the characters are. You can always go back and rewatch this video if you find yourself getting confused again. But hopefully this helped, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the book so far.